From translation, ISV International Standard Version, this 115th day of the year, today we are reading passages 2 Kings 12-14, 2 Kings chapter 12, verses 1 to 20. In the 7th year of Jehu, Joash began to reign over Judah. He reigned for 40 years in Jerusalem. His mother's name was Zibiah from Beersheba. Joash did what was right in the sight of the Lord all the days of Jehoiada the priest, but the high places were not removed. The people continued to sacrifice and burn incense on the high places. Then Joash said to the priests, "All the money of the holy things that is brought into the Lord's temple, the money that each man is assessed, the money that each man volunteers to bring into the Lord's temple, let the priests take for themselves, each from his acquaintance. And let them repair the damages wherever any damage is found." But by the 23rd year of King Joash, the priests had not repaired the damages of the temple. So King Joash summoned Jehoiada the priest and the other priests. He said to them, "Why haven't you repaired the damages of the temple? Now therefore take no more money from your acquaintances, but hand it over for the repair of the temple." The priests agreed not to take any more money from the people, and not to repair the temple damages. Then Jehoiada the priest took a chest, bored a hole in its lid, and placed it beside the altar on the right side as one enters the Lord's temple. The priests who kept the entrance put in all the money that was brought into the Lord's temple. Whenever they saw that there was a large amount of money in the chest, the royal secretary and the high priest came, counted the money that was found in the Lord's temple, and bagged it. Then they would hand over the weighed money into the hands of those doing the work, who had the oversight of the Lord's temple. They would use it to pay the carpenters and the builders who worked on the Lord's temple, and to pay the masons and the stonecutters, and to buy timber and dressed stone for repairing the damages to the Lord's temple, and for all the work required for repairing the temple. However, no silver was used for the basins, snuffers, bowls, trumpets, any vessels of gold, or any vessels of silver from the money brought into the Lord's temple, for they gave that to those who did the work, and it was used to repair the Lord's temple. Moreover, they did not require an accounting from the men into whose hand they gave the money to pay those who did the work, for they were honest in their dealings. The money from the guilt offerings and the money from the sin offerings was not brought into the Lord's temple. It belonged to the priests. At that time, King Hazael of Aram went up and fought against Gath and captured it. Then Hazael set his face to go up toward Jerusalem. But Joash king of Judah took all the sacred things that his fathers, Jehoshaphat, Jehoram and Ahaziah, kings of Judah, had dedicated, and his own sacred things, and all the gold that was found in the treasuries of the Lord's temple and in the royal palace, and he sent it to Hazael king of Aram. Then Hazael withdrew from Jerusalem. Now the rest of the acts of Joash, and all that he did, are they not written in the book of the Chronicles of the kings of Judah? His servants conspired against him and killed Joash at the house of Millo, on the way that goes down to Silla. He was murdered by his servants, Jozachar the son of Shimath and Jehozabad the son of Shomer, his servants, and he was buried with his fathers in the city of David. His son Amaziah became king in his place. 2 Kings chapter 13, verses 1 to 25. In the 23rd year of Joash son of Ahaziah, king of Judah, Jehoahaz son of Jehu became king over Israel and Samaria, and he reigned for 17 years. He did what was evil in the sight of the Lord, and followed the sins of Jeroboam son of Nebat, which he caused Israel to commit. He did not turn away from them. So the anger of the Lord burned against Israel, and he delivered them into the hand of Hazael king of Aram, and into the hand of Ben-Hadad son of Hazael, continually. Then Jehoahaz sought the favor of the Lord, and the Lord heard him, for he saw the oppression of Israel, because the king of Aram oppressed them severely. The Lord gave Israel a savior, so that they escaped from the hand of Aram. And the people of Israel lived in their tents as formerly, but they did not turn away from the sins of the house of Jeroboam, which he caused Israel to commit. They continued in them. Also the Asherah remained in Samaria, for Jehoahaz did not leave to Jehoahaz any army except for 50 horsemen, 10 chariots and 10,000 foot soldiers. For the king of Aram had destroyed them, and made them like the dust at threshing. Now the rest of the acts of Jehoahaz, all that he did and his might, are they not written in the book of the Chronicles of the kings of Israel? Jehoahaz slept with his fathers, and they buried him in Samaria, and his son Jehoash became king in his place. In the 37th year of Joash king of Judah, Jehoash son of Jehoahaz became king over Israel in Samaria, and he reigned for 16 years. He did what was evil in the sight of the Lord. He did not turn away from all the sins of Jeroboam son of Nebat, which he caused Israel to commit, but he walked in them. Now the rest of the acts of Jehoash, all that he did, and his might with which he fought against Amaziah king of Judah, are they not written in the book of the Chronicles of the kings of Israel? Jehoash slept with his fathers, and Jeroboam sat on his throne. Jehoash was buried in Samaria with the kings of Israel. Now Elisha became ill with the illness from which he was to die. Then Jehoash king of Israel went down to him and wept over his face and said, my father, the chariots of Israel and its horsemen. Elisha said to him, take a bow and arrows. So he took a bow and arrows. Then Elisha said to the king of Israel, put your hand on the bow. So he put his hand on it, and Elisha put his hands on the king's hands. And Elisha said, open the window eastward. Then he opened it. And Elisha said, shoot. So he shot. And Elisha said, the Lord's arrow of victory, the arrow of victory over Aram, for you shall fight the Arameans in Aphek until you have destroyed them. Then Elisha said, take the arrows. So he took them. And he said to the king of Israel, strike the ground. So he struck the ground 3 times and stopped. But the man of God was angry with him and said, you should have struck 5 or 6 times. Then you would have struck down Aram until you had destroyed it, but now you will strike down Aram only 3 times. Then Elisha died and was buried. Now Moabite marauding bands used to invade the land in the spring of the year. Once, as some Israelites were burying a man, suddenly they saw a marauding band, and they threw the man into Elisha's tomb. When the man touched the bones of Elisha, he revived and stood up on his feet. Now Hazael king of Aram oppressed Israel throughout the reign of Jehoash. But the Lord was gracious to them, and had compassion on them, and turned to them because of his covenant with Abraham, Isaac, and Israel, and would not destroy them, nor did he cast them from his presence as yet. When Hazael king of Aram died, Ben-Hadad his son became king in his place. Then Jehoash son of Jehoahaz recovered from Ben-Hadad son of Hazael the cities that he had taken from Jehoahaz his father in war. 3 times Jehoash defeated him, and recovered the cities of Israel. 2 Kings chapter 14, verses 1-29. In the 2nd year of Jehoash son of Jehoahaz, king of Israel, Amaziah son of Joash, king of Judah, became king. He was 25 years old when he became king, and he reigned for 29 years in Jerusalem. His mother's name was Jehoadin, from Jerusalem. He did what was right in the sight of the Lord, yet not like David his father. He did all as his father Joash had done, but the high places were not removed. The people continued to sacrifice and burn incense on the high places. Now it happened that as soon as the kingdom was established in his hand, he killed his servants who had killed his father the king. But the children of the murderers he did not put to death, according to what is written in the book of the law of Moses, in which the Lord commanded, the fathers shall not be put to death for the children, nor shall the children be put to death for the fathers. But each shall be put to death for his own sin. He killed 10,000 of Edom in the valley of Salt, and captured Selah in battle, and called it Joktheel, which is its name to this day. Then Amaziah sent messengers to Jehoash son of Jehoahaz, son of Jehu, king of Israel, saying, come, let us look one another in the face. Jehoash king of Israel replied to Amaziah king of Judah, the thorn bush in Lebanon sent a message to the cedar in Lebanon, saying, give your daughter to my son for a wife. But a wild beast in Lebanon passed by and trampled down the thorn bush. You have indeed defeated Edom, and your heart has made you proud. Enjoy your glory and stay at home. For why should you provoke trouble so that you fall, you and Judah with you? But Amaziah would not listen. So Jehoash king of Israel went up, and he and Amaziah king of Judah faced each other at Bethshemesh, which belongs to Judah. Judah was defeated before Israel, and they fled, each man to his tent. And Jehoash king of Israel captured Amaziah king of Judah, the son of Joash, the son of Ahaziah, at Bethshemesh. Then he came to Jerusalem, and broke down the wall of Jerusalem from the gate of Ephraim to the corner gate, about 400 cubits. He took all the gold and silver, and all the vessels that were found in the house of the Lord and in the treasuries of the king's house and hostages, and returned to Samaria. Now the rest of the acts of Jehoash, which he did, and his might, and how he fought with Amaziah king of Judah, are they not written in the book of the Chronicles of the kings of Israel? Jehoash slept with his fathers, and he was buried in Samaria with the kings of Israel, and Jeroboam his son became king in his place. Amaziah the son of Joash king of Judah lived after the death of Jehoash son of Jehoahaz, king of Israel, for 15 years. Now the rest of the acts of Amaziah, are they not written in the book of the Chronicles of the kings of Judah? They conspired against him in Jerusalem, and he fled to Lachish, but they sent men after him to Lachish and killed him there. They brought him on horses, and he was buried in Jerusalem with his fathers in the city of David. Then all the people of Judah took Azariah, who was 16 years old, and made him king in place of his father Amaziah. He built Elath and restored it to Judah, after the king slept with his fathers. In the 15th year of Amaziah son of Joash, king of Judah, Jeroboam son of Jehoash, king of Israel, became king in Samaria, and he reigned for 41 years. He did what was evil in the sight of the Lord. He did not turn away from all the sins of Jeroboam son of Nebat, which he caused Israel to commit. He restored the border of Israel from the entrance of Hamath to the Sea of the Arabah, according to the word of the Lord, the God of Israel, which he spoke through his servant Jonah the son of Amittai, the prophet from Gath-hepher. For the Lord had seen the affliction of Israel, that it was bitter, for there was neither bond nor free, and there was no helper for Israel. The Lord had not said that he would blot out the name of Israel from under heaven, but he saved them by the hand of Jeroboam son of Jehoash. Now the rest of the acts of Jeroboam, all that he did, his might with which he fought, and how he restored Damascus and Hamath to Judah in Israel, are they not written in the book of the Chronicles of the kings of Israel? Jeroboam slept with his fathers, the kings of Israel, and his son Zechariah became king in his place.